Yeah, it needs to be done. I mean, this building is 7 years old, and it's been done a million times. I mean, look at that. Stone brick wall, stone brick ceilings, just grass floor. It's so boring. There isn't anything great about it. But 7 years ago, this thing was great. This was amazingly awesome and the best thing and the pride of the faction. But we're going to rebuild it. We're going to rebuild it and we're going to make it so much better. So much better. We're going to spend hours, even days of our time trying to find the perfect spot to put this in and then make it better. We shall recreate the Ranger clan and make it perfect. Improve it and make it the pride and glory it once was. Because right now, it needs a little help. And that's why we're calling it the Reconstruction Project. Good night, I guess? Yeah, sure, we'll go with that. How's it going, everyone? My name's Captain Cree, I guess, in this case. Sure, yeah, we'll go with that. How's everyone doing today? I'm doing pretty alright. Today we're going to go on a little bit of an adventure. So our goal, as you saw by the glorious intro, I know, it's amazing. We're going to recreate a very, very old base. This base was made back in 2013, and even then it wasn't exactly perfectly amazing. So we're going to recreate it and make it a lot better than it was. As you probably may have guessed, the very first issue we're going to have is going to be finding a proper location for this. I've already spent a couple hours trying to find the right spot, and I still have not had much luck. So that base was made in a mine shaft over a ravine. So it was quite the unique find, and it's difficult to recreate something like that. So it was hiding underneath an ocean, hence why we're currently on water. I'm hoping to see if I can find a spot in a similar location to see if I have any luck. Sadly, though, this server has a pretty tight border, so we may just kind of have to stick with what we find. So, wow, that was a lovely little glitch of the water there. That was freaky. But yeah, once we find a proper location, we'll be pretty well set to go. Hopefully we can find one sooner rather than later. Alrighty, step 1 was to find the right server. Nice. Step 2 is to find the right cave, and I just have. This cave is perfect. As previously mentioned, though, the mine shaft had to be specifically set in order for it to contain the base. Well, actually, this was just to minimize the effort required in order to reconstruct it to the base. So the reason why this one's so special is because it has 2 hallways in the mine shaft. However, the hallways are not separated by a wall at all. They're just completely open, which creates a very large cavern and makes it extremely easy for me to build. And I actually don't have to do a whole lot of deconstruction in order to construct the base. So, made it nice and easy for me to build the square needed. Except for it was countered by the good old footage I had to work with. So the only details I had contained about the base and its size was the footage you saw earlier. And that made things challenging for me to try to line everything up. It took me a couple tries, but finally I got it down. Once the outline's done, then we can move on to the big stuff. But first, why did I choose this server? Well, it wasn't just by mere chance. It was because it was handpicked. It had to be a small server to prevent raiding. However, it had to also have the faction plugin. This plugin, as you kind of see in the annoying Wilderness to Rangers flashing up in the middle of the screen, was specifically set so that we can rebuild Rangers, which was originally just a faction. So it's more of a symbolism thing more than anything. But the next thing, and the most crucial that I was looking for, was the ability to pick up and or buy spawners, which this server does allow. The reason for this is because the main reason the old base was so popular to begin with in a very old server was because of its XP farm. It contained over 27 spawners in total. It was actually one of the quickest spawn XP farms on the server at its time, and sadly to date due to its close. The spawners since been nerfed and the spawning sequence have been slowed to better serve servers, but thankfully we could still reconstruct its original design. Yeah, however, the ladder system used to get mobs from point A to point near death has been redone, so it may take some doing, but we should be able to reconstruct it just fine. Sadly, that's on a different episode though. On this episode, we kind of look into it as it is the center point of this base, but we don't go much into it all that much this episode. We'll go into that a little bit more next episode, but it's going to be more of a reveal rather than a showcase on how it's done, due to a lot of trial and error. This base is crucial for our reconstruction project as it did serve as the original point for the entire base that you weren't able to see in the intro. The entire base was actually quite large and connected via rail system, and it took many months for it to actually completely finish construction. Even after the server shut down, there was still a lot that needed to be done. Which, as said, the server shut down, so sadly it never got completed. Hopefully we'll be able to do that through this series. This base also served as another main purpose, was that it was the F-home. The original spot for all members to hop in when they joined the faction. It contained everything from the storage room, the alchemy table, the witherwort farm, the carrot and potato farm, the wheat farm, the steak farm, leather farm, and even an iron farm. However, that may not be able to be reconstructed. And, of course, the enchanting table, as previously mentioned, was paired with the XP farm, as previously mentioned. So it served as a very center point, and it indicated that via beacons, 4 of them to be precise, and also the location of an ender egg, which was very rare to have on that server. On this server, it could be redone, and hopefully the old gang can get back together for us to re-kill that ender dragon one more time. However, there's another main purpose for this base. It actually served as a center hub for the rest of the base. As said, the rail system connected to it, and the only way to access said rail system was through this base. It connected about 4 other different bases, subsequent bases, each one with their own properties and main reasons why they were constructed, and hopefully we'll be able to reconstruct that at a later date. So now here I am working on the main portion of the XP farm. This is the funnel system used. All you had to do was throw down a health potion and bam, you were up to 30 levels in a very short amount of time. Constructing this was actually very crucial in the rest of the build as the grass formed around this portion. So with this and the wall put in, it was very easy to fill in the rest. However, I had to use different blocks in order for it to work. The original stone slab has actually changed textures and ultimately did not do any favors when making the base look any better than it did. So I went with this. We will go into more detail on reconstructing that at a later time. All we're doing right now is kind of getting the broad base put down. One thing I'm really looking forward to in this server is actually seeing how far I can recreate it before something resets. It's going to be a race against time as most servers, including this one, are due to reset on a yearly date, if not sooner. So hopefully we get a lot done before that point. Of course, the series will likely go on, and Reconstruction will see about doing it even better the third time around. Or perhaps we'll move on. No. The future awaits. Of course, this footage is going to be a very, very little bit shaky, and I apologize for that ahead of time. Hopefully, future videos turn out a little bit better. But I'm going to go ahead and let this play out to the end, and I hope you guys enjoy it. As you can see, this is the finished project of the dirt, and grass is put in a later time, and glowstone will be put in as well. Most details will be redone in a few times, but hey, we got the base down, and that's going to be a major start. Next up is going to be the F home and the XP farm. Let's see how well that goes. I'll see you around, and have a good one. Hope you guys enjoyed.